To Queensland now, Premier Stephen Miles is insisting migration is to blame for road congestion and public transport woes in his state. He has doubled down on his calls for the federal government to slash overseas migration numbers by half. He's copped a bit of criticism over this, Dan, but I wonder if he does have a point. State government analysis has found that net overseas migration contributed a 177% increase in trips on Queensland's transport network. So we had 60,000 trips in 2019 to 167,000 trips last year. 120,000 people moved to Queensland last year and 88,000 of them were overseas migrants.
Yeah, look, the Premier of Queensland is spot on. He's right to point out that many of the problems we have, whether it's housing, whether it's the congestion on our roads, pressure on social services, is from the massive increase to demand from this unplanned mass migration. You know things are bad when even a Labor Premier is calling out his federal colleagues on their failed migration program.
There is an election around the corner. That may have something to do with it.
And you make a really good point, because I've got to say, those are the words of a man who wants to win. He is willing, he's wedged the coalition there on, or the LNP, on net zero, and the LNP went along with it. He's now wedging them on the migration issue. So look, I think it's probably back to even Stevens in terms of that election. Oh,
he has played it very well indeed. And the LNP, that massive own goal by signing up to Labor's bold emission targets, now they've really taken out that issue, cost of living, energy policy out of the equation.
Yep.
And he seems to be coming in stronger than even they are on something that people care passionately about, and that's migration numbers, even though it's a federal issue, not a state issue. Now, an increasing number of Jewish students at the University of Melbourne are dropping out, deferring placement, or fleeing campus altogether as pro-Palestinian activists continue to occupy buildings on the Parkville campus. The Arts West building has been occupied for over a week now by students who are refusing to move. They've even renamed it Mahmoud Hall after a Gaza victim. They disrupt classes for 17,000 students. What action is the university taking, Dan, to restore order here? It seems to be very little indeed.
Very little. They're allowing it to happen. They've given in to the worst of the campus protests. Students, I mean, you talk to students that they can't go to class, they can't study. I mean, some of them are trying to do exams, they can't go to the library and study because they're all outside chanting. So how come these students are paying thousands and thousands of dollars and they're not even receiving an education? The universities need to be rebating the students who can't go to class. It's a complete disgrace. And the other point to make here is, of course, you can have your say, but this is a university. You're there to be educated, you're there to learn. And it's just...
This has gone far beyond a protest. They've got camps set up. I mean, surely that's against the rules and regulations.
I'm sure they are, but clear them out. How hard is it for them to clear them out? But this is the point, Rita. These universities and the vice-chancellors lack moral courage. They will not do it. They'll take in the international students for the money. They're diminishing the quality of education, and they won't stand up to this bullying behaviour. They are, as a cohort, a disgrace.
Thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you.